Good morning. This is the Saturday wrap for Saturday the 21st of November 2020. In line with my policy about trying different things, this is being done on my iPad mini. I have to be honest, it's a device that I love. It's the Mini 5, the current model. It's got one of those A12 chips in it, and it is pretty fast, and I'm going to string it all together using LumaFusion. So this is the standard look back on the week that just was, a week of mostly annual leave, in fact all annual leave, and beer and shopping and gardening. Anyway, so what is the word or phrase of the week? It's probably not going to shock you. The word is Beano. And it's Beano-ing that's keeping me together at the moment. You need time off. You need to do things that you can. And the Rona has stopped me going and doing things and whatever. However, I am back in the corner of pubs on my own, watching people and sucking up the bandwidth. And it's really great, and I'm enjoying it. So, here are the segments from the week that was. Saturday the 21st of November 2020. Bye-bye. 1, 2. So, I really didn't do that much over the weekend. I watched a film. Thank you, Cheap Charts, for the cheap stuff, and monitoring when something comes down in price as well. Thank you very much. $1.99. Sometimes it's cheaper to actually buy a film than rent a film, which is good. Oh, by the way, it's Tuesday the 17th at the moment, and it's raining, and thereby hangs the story. If the weather is weatherish, and it's very weatherish at the moment, autumn storms and all that sort of business, I don't think it's going to stop raining until Thursday. Time will tell on that one. So yeah, Sunday was like a Sunday if I was going to work on the Monday, and I didn't. So the plan was, let's go to, well, it was Penarth, and then I noticed the bottle shop was closed. So it was Cardiff, and it didn't start well. First of all, I couldn't buy my ticket online from TfW Rail, either via the web or the app. Hats off there. And then the alerts came out and said there are signalling issues. So, the bus was relatively on time, and it rained, and I got to Caerphilly, and I bought a ticket in the ticket office, which went well, and the train, which, if everything was running to time I would have missed, was just arriving. So I jumped on it, and despite what I might have heard, everyone was well distributed. The train, and I remember the trains at that time, even with 4 carriages which were usually packed and everyone was standing, this wasn't. And everyone had a mask on. And then in Cardiff, red sky in the morning, a wonderful red, not pink, red sky. Anyway, long story short, Costa Coffee on Queen Street was open. A Costa cup of coffee and a Costa bacon roll, and the aromas and everything was right with the world. That thing in was it Queen Street in front of the castle? I can't remember. In front of the castle where everyone was having them, that's all gone. Although they're creating a huge cycleway, which will snarl everything up. Everything was snarled up before. What can you do? Went to the Gateway where practically nothing was on, beer-wise. And in fact, the app didn't show any beers before 9 o'clock, despite the fact the bar opens at 8. Much the same problem that I had in the Queen's Hotel on Friday. So anyway, it was a can of Elvis juice and a pint of Shipyard American Ale. And I took probably about 2.5 hours to down those, because one, I'm out of practice, and two, I was in no hurry. It was all relaxed. And I'd already booked a table in Bubs, which was Beelzebub's Crafty Devil's bar in the centre of town, and before that it was the small bar. I got there at 12 o'clock. Very friendly, very professional, sane and safe. And the beers were wonderful. I had a great time there, and their Wi-Fi and backhaul, I think it's fibre to the premise, because it's faster than my stuff at home, and I'm fibre to the cabinet. Really, really good. Excellent selection of beers. I feel myself going back there. Really do. I liked it. No app needed. They had that YOLO thing. Here's the thing. If you use Apple Pay over multiple devices, iPad and iPhone, they don't synchronize payments. You learn something every day. Anyway, I came home at the end of the day. It rained a lot. It's raining now. It's not supposed to be raining today, said Bagpuss. Anyway, what else should I have discussed? No, I think that's about it, he says after looking over from Evernote. So, up to Tuesday. Bye-bye. And around comes Thursday. Just out of nowhere. Thursday is another of my day offs. I'm looking at the weather. It's supposed to be dry all day, but there is a chance of showers, and I've got the washing on the line, which I'm filing under personal admin. There is, however, let's see if you can see this, double punk. If you like your punk IPA, which I love, it's not as good. It's like special brew for punk drinkers, 8.2% alcohol by volume. Resinous, as in taste of resin. Most of the hoppiness and fruitiness and individuality and complexity of punk IPA has disappeared. But still, it all counts towards my stats. Anyway, 3 things to say for today. And I'm going to try and not ramble as much, because I've been told that these last too long. Irony alert. Anyway, first of all, the results are in for the testing of the new Apple M1 chip. I think it's safe to say they are spectacular, and these are just for consumer versions, like MacBook Air and such like. I think the big thing, as Microsoft has had 2 ARM-powered Windows 10X laptops out, is what do? Basically, Intel have been made to look silly, and Qualcomm, well, they're still more interested in mobile ARM chips, and I know there has been a 10X device with an updated Qualcomm chip, but it wasn't very good. So Microsoft, you're not going to be able, and your OEMs, to sell laptops on look how powerful this machine is, because, well, Apple silicone. I suppose the best thing that you can do is sell them on price and sell them on compatibility, and everything will run on this, but there's just been a giant step forward. I went to Penarth yesterday, and of course there was a lot of weather about, and there was a lot of tinsel about, and I nearly came away with some raffle tickets for a Big Ted except they hadn't worked out how much they were. But he was a great Ted, and he was sitting on the bar. The big question is, of course, will Christmas be cancelled? Can our elected officials cancel Christmas? If we have Christmas, does that mean we have to have 25 days in lockdown? On Twitter, I think it was Retired Martin, so you spend 5 days with people that you don't really like at home, and then you have to spend another 25 days at home to make up for those 5 days at home, which you really rather you didn't have. Plus the fact that establishments are just not going to open for 5 days over Christmas and then close down again. They might as well not bother. Christmas is going to be very interesting this time of year. And lastly, I had a number of messages yesterday over the TCP/IPs about unforeseen circumstances. I was safer in the Golden Lion. That's my favourite backstreet boozer in Wales. It's in Penarth. Okay, everything's sorted now, but people are self-isolated and such like, and I think I've already said our figures coming out were similar to Glasgow's figures going in. Yeah, I can go to the pub, but if you're in Glasgow, you can't. Follow the science, everybody. Oh. Cheers. And bye-bye. So it's now Saturday, and because I had the week off, and I've still got Monday off, which I've booked Brewdog in Cardiff for, by the way. Triple hazy, 9.5%, blows your socks off, although it's very drinkable. I thought I'd be out drinking every day, because this is my June leave, and I'd booked 4 nights in Exeter, 3 in Bridport, and 3 in Dorchester. Well, we all know what happened to that, but I can't do it. I'd booked into Bubs in Cardiff for today. I pinged him earlier on this morning to cancel the table. I think it's cold, and I'm out of training, and I just want to laze around a bit. And I could tell myself, well, I need to do the videos and I need to do this and all that sort of stuff. However, I'm not altogether sure that's the case. So, since last time, put weed and feed on the lawn. I was going to go to B&Q, but I got it from Amazon, which I know is wrong. However, the delivery was before 12 o'clock. I have a feeling that they are taking on more delivery drivers. Next Friday is Black Friday. And then there's, Christmas. And then the First Minister says, we are not going to make any changes in the regulations for the next 2 weeks. Don't forget, these are the people that were elected to represent us, not to tell us what to do, he says rather cynically. I'm taking from that, after those next 2 weeks, things may change. And I know all the home governments are getting together to look at Christmas, but yeah, our figures are up and down at the moment. Anyway, so yesterday, which was Friday, well, sometimes in life it's just the little things, like waiting for the 50 bus to Newport in the dark, and there was a little bit of drizzle, but getting on the bus was, this is like the good old times. However, buses nowadays, doesn't matter how cold they are, the windows are open, which is a good thing, because airborne diseases, best thing you can do is blow them out. So the bus is cold. Pubs are cold because they have their doors and windows open. To which I say, and which I did, wrap up warm. Fresh air is good air. I don't know. Anyway, it was a good day. And there are Christmas trees going up all over the place. I have to be honest, Newport, their Christmas tree is really good. There's this thing now about not having a tree, just like a cone covered in green stuff and lots of lights, and well, yeah. And Tiny Rebel were putting up their decorations, and there was a Christmas tree in Tesco's. Just a little extra one on Cambrian Road. Yeah. Do what you can while you can. I think tomorrow is going to be another day. Let's see what else we've got to say. Oh yeah, Costa Coffee. I had to swap early opening for an actual seat. There's a Costa at the station which opens at 6 o'clock. Even without COVID, it's too small to go into. But they have seats outside, and some of them are undercover. There's a concrete lintel coming over the building, and I just sat there with my festive Christmas cup of Costa coffee. I didn't have a bacon roll just in case it froze immediately, and I just watched the rain. I just watched people going to work and some of the trains, and that was good as well. And then I checked into, and you do check into, the Queen's Hotel. I think they are scoring number one for COVID secureness at the moment. So that's been the week. Tomorrow, possibly a visit to a reservoir, my M40, or not, depending on the weather. And Monday, as I said, I've still got Monday off. That was to recover from all this time off. I'm going to Cardiff, so there could be a bacon roll involved there, and I've booked into Brewdog, of which I am a shareholder, and I get 10% off. It's been a good week, if a somewhat different week. Anyway, bye bye.